Hi, my name is Chileshe and welcome to the second part of my tutorial on graphic design elements and principles. In lesson 1, we looked at the basic elements of design and layout, which are shapes, lines, images, numbers, text, objects, and space. Note that this list is just my own discovery and how best I understand design. In this lesson, we're going to look at the principles of design. First of all, what is design? Design is the arrangement of visual elements to create a story, a message, or achieve a particular effect. What are the principles of design? Robin Williams, in his book, Non-Designer's Design Book, which I highly recommend, says, think of CRAP. Now, CRAP stands for contrast, repetition, alignment, and proximity. However, my workflow principles are hierarchy, contrast, and repetition. I'm not introducing new principles. This is just how I begin to think when I'm designing something. Let's look at hierarchy. Hierarchy is basically the grouping and ordering of information based on similarity and importance. Similar information items are grouped or placed close to each other. Important items are placed higher than the rest of the information or items. So how do you achieve hierarchy? First of all, group similar information or items. Then make those items similar in size and group them or put them close to each other. For text, format the important information. That is, make it bold or underline or italicize. And for objects, make the important object bigger. Hierarchy is best achieved using contrast. Now, contrast is the second principle of design, and it is key to making a page interesting and attractive. It has two sub-principles, variation and exaggeration. With variation, you simply change the pattern of design. For instance, instead of left, you go right. Instead of up, you go down. With exaggeration, you go to the extremes of design to create visual interest. And for instance, if something is big, you make it too big. If something is small, you make it extra small. Now, the objective of contrast is to make an item or information stand out or be different. You create visual interest and attract the eye. So how do you achieve contrast? The following are some of the attributes or techniques that you can use to achieve contrast. First of all, you can apply scale or size. You can change the size or the scale of an item. 2, you can add color. 3, you can change the rotation and or direction of an item. 4, you can change the position of an item. 5, you can apply some effects to an item. 6, you can add a border or a box around an item or group of information. 7, you can add some lines between items. 8, you can use alignment, an imaginary line for positioning items vertically or horizontally. And 9, you can add some space between items. And 10, you can change the font size or typeface. One of the elements used to, or techniques used to achieve contrast is color. Now, basically, there are two types of colors. There are solid colors, which is just one color, and the gradient color, which is a blend between two or more colors. Now, blends are created by putting colors in a particular direction, putting colors in a particular shape, or creating a mesh where colors are applied on the surface. Now, color is applied to different parts of an object. It can be applied to the surface, which is the feel, or to the border, which is the outline, or both. There are rules to mixing colors based on color theory. Basically, there are different color schemes. There are complementary colors, there are analogous colors, which we're not looking at in this tutorial. So colors have energy, meaning, and psychological impact. Some colors are warm, others are cool. Some colors produce a sense of happiness, others sadness. Some colors produce a sense of importance or business-like. Another element used to achieve contrast is effecting. And now there are two types of effecting. There's the effecting applied to shapes, lines, images, numbers, text, and objects, and there are effects applied to the page. Now, the effects are applied to the background, that is by adding color, adding an image, or creating a particular pattern, or to the border, or as a way of achieving a demarcation between items through curves and lower thirds, middle thirds, or upper thirds. Now, in particular, on the visual effects applied to objects, you can apply them to the background of an item by adding shadows, reflections, and colors. You can apply them to the edge of an object by roughening or making the corners round. You can apply them to the surface by adding lights and colors, by disintegrating the object or making another object show through the surface of that object. The last principle of design is repetition. Basically, it's used to create a visual pattern that achieves something of visual interest. Now, the typical things to repeat in design are the non-text visual elements. These are the shapes, lines, objects, and space, and the formatting applied to the text, the making of the text bold, italicized, the size, or the font typeface. Now, the objective of repetition is to create a similar treatment or to make something contrasting, and it's best to have one non-text, at least one non-text visual element appear somewhere else in design. So to achieve repetition, basically you have to repeat an element of design. You can repeat a shape, a line, an object, or space, or you can repeat the text formatting that is applied to the text. So we'll come to the end of the tutorial. So in summary, these are the three main principles of design, which are hierarchy, contrast, and repetition. In the next tutorial, we're going to look at the principles of page layout. Now, how do you create a particular effect on a page? How do visual elements relate to one another? Apart from being arranged, how do they relate to one another? So we'll look at principles of proportion, which includes things to do with grids, the square, the golden section, rule of thirds, popular in photography. It should do with balance and tension, about the symmetry and asymmetry. It should do with movement and rhythm, about the shapes and flow. So my name is Chileshe. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Leave your comments on this page and look out for my next tutorial. See you next time.